Greetings, folks, and welcome to the channel. I am your host, Coco Smooth, and today we are continuing to talk about the 1/12th scale military action figures. In this case, it'll be the Valaverse Action Force Special Deployment Series, Desert Warfare Republic Guard, and Desert Gear Pack. Um, it's labeled that way because Action Force has its own comics and continuity, and the Republic Guard, based on the canon that's taking place there, the story, its own, toy line story. America is not in the best place. There's a civil war kind of taking place. Different factions are there, and a lot of uh, different states are taking sides. So yeah, you guys read the comics. I have not yet read them, but I've just gotten the synopsis from other channels discussing their takes on this and a bunch of other action figures of theirs. Well, let's have at it. Okay, so um, initially, this is what I got: the Desert Warfare Republic Guard. I picked this up from BBTS, but it was pretty naked. There was really not much to it other than, the figure, the hands, an extra head for, one black, one white, and uh, so what appears to be a submachine gun. But since that doesn't seem to match this character, I just left it in the box and immediately went to try to get the desert pack, which cost me a pretty penny somewhere else. I ended up having to get it because it was sold out everywhere else in AliExpress, which, by the way, they delivered so fast that I ordered it a week ago, and it came in Thanksgiving dinner. During Thanksgiving dinner, I was surprised. I was like, "Aren't you all supposed to be off?" Anyways, yeah, as you can see, Republic Guard, file name various, 11 Bravo Infantry, Special Ops. Um, yeah, in the wake of the collapse of the Union, state governors, military leaders face dilemma. Yeah, you guys can just pause this and actually look at, if you want to know what the command file actually says. But yeah, as you can see, it's in their special canon explaining all of this. And these are troop builders, and I love it. I love me some troop builders. I needed them because my purpose of getting the Action Force stuff was really to supplement my GI Joe classified stuff. I think in the previous video I told you guys that what got me started in this whole new rabbit hole was buying Dusty out of nostalgia, remembering a conversation that I once had, woo, back in 2000, 2001, with a fraternity brother, and we were talking about our favorite Joes, and he said he loved Dusty, and I just remembered, he was like, you know what? Yeah, I remember he said he liked Dusty. Mine was Shipwreck because he was in the Navy, and my family's all Navy, but I joined the Army. So a part of the irony is Dusty reflects more of where my life went. So, in addition to having that conversation with my fraternity brother, brother Jeep, man, it was just, I just thought, and I bought this on Veterans Day. Oh yes, I bought this on Veterans Day, and it created a whole other mess. I started to get real sentimental, started to think really hooah, really Army stuff, really patriotic all of a sudden. I was just like, oh man. Yeah, so I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get it. And then before you know it, it's like, oh man, I might as well get a few friends for this guy. He can't be by himself. And yeah, I find myself just picking up a bunch of Joes in addition to Funko Pops and everything else that I got. But yeah, this rabbit hole is going to be pretty expensive, especially since I'm buying third-party kits to go along with this. There are going to be reviews on that too. They're just coming in the mail at some point, and you guys, I hope you guys enjoy those. What I do with that. Anyways, back to this figure again. Yeah, he was by himself, and this is pretty much what he looked like. I already dressed him up with all the gear, and this is what it came with: the desert pack, right? So this is what it comes up. It comes with. It comes with action blasters too, like the effects. But since I'm not an effects guy, I just kind of kept it in the box. Everything else is the service member is wearing. You know, from the pistol to the schmuck to the helmet, the Kevlar. To be fair, I did swap out another Valaverse um, uh, helmet portion because actually no, I didn't do it with this one, but I didn't like these headphones. I just wanted the regular helmet, and so that's why he's got just his regular Kevlar. But yeah, it's got the the pistol belt, the I don't want to say I don't want to say K bar, but yeah, his military knife. I got a K bar, and extra magazines to go with the AR-15 or M4. So yeah, and here's the nods. Yeah, it's all on him too, and the pouch and the medic pouch. So yeah, and of course each one of these comes with points. This one's one action point. Let's see if this is one or two. So yeah, buying this set equals 2 action points. Some figures have two already come with 2 action points. In this case, since the basic figure is kind of cheap on the cheap side, like $20 originally because it doesn't have any gear, and then you pay 12 to $15 for the gear when it initially came out. It roughly adds up to how much you would get like the infantry commando, which I shared in an earlier video. Please check that one out. But yeah, see, I already got them. The mags, they're all there on his uh, ammo load bearing gear, his vest. The only thing I didn't put was the antenna on top of this thing. I didn't want to put any more, because it could break, so I left that alone. And as you can see, the M4, kind of cool. Sometimes I would change this out with one of the rifles from Weapons Charlie Pack because it matches, right? But I figured, oh, you know what, this is what it comes stock with, so I'm just gonna enjoy the stock version of this with the gear, the stock gear. And there's his I don't know if it's a Glock. I don't really know my weapons too well, even though I was in the army. The irony of things, I imagine it's a Glock, but it's some kind of 9mm or whatever. Maybe not. I don't know. If you're in the audience who knows, please feel free to educate me on it. Yeah, and there's his night vision goggles on top of his helmet, which he can easily, I think I showed you guys that with the infantry commando. So yeah, now you can see at night. Really cool satchel that it comes with. And yeah, just like any G.I. Joe classified / any other Action Force line, it's got all the similar joints, except the more modern G.I. Joe, because modern G.I. Joe does not have pins on the elbows and arms or the knees, right? As you can see, Dusty does not have pins or on his knees or his elbows joints, so it'd be kind of cool. But like the earlier stuff, like Cobra Island Beachhead, definitely has those unsightly knee pins and elbow joint pins. So yeah, but technology changed, and so they're like, okay, we're going to use this engineering instead. Kind of cool. And yeah, Bobby Valla, I love the quality of his stuff. The range of the knee bends are pretty good. You got to be kind of careful because kind of be stiff. But for the most part, I try to play gentle because third party stuff, just in general, they're kind of expensive and harder to find. Yeah, swivels, ankle rockers, knees, thigh swivels up here. Can do the full Van Damme, but I don't want to go all the way there. Yeah, these really awesome joints. I don't know what they call it, butterfly joints or whatever. But yeah, 90-degree elbow joints, kind of cool. And you could have them take aim and a bunch of other things depending on which wrist you have. You can make it harder, but again, 3 different set of hands. fist, trigger, and open palm, so that it can, you know, rock the barrel of a rifle, shemagh, communicator, load bearing vest, LBV. But modular, more like the 2000 desert gear of that they used in the most recent campaign. Yeah, the GI Joes, you'll notice that they're more of the older ones have more of the Vietnam style way of going about stuff, which I grew up with and I love. So then that's for nostalgia's sake, yeah. But now that I'm an older gentleman, this is, in my time in war, this is the gear that I wore. So a part of me is like, nostalgia here too. But even more nostalgia looking at, the stuff I used to when I was a kid. Yeah, I love how congruent the colors are with the uniform. This is so good. There's even though he looks very much similar to they have the similar buck, right? The same with the infantry commando. But yeah, like I said, their weapons are different. That's why I use this to replace that from time to time so that they can match. But yeah, same helmet, same vest. Difference is he has a holster on his belt instead of on his thigh. His thigh is left barren here, but he's got med pack here, med pack on here. Gloves same, except different painting. This one has more detail. This one does not. But yeah, everything else is pretty much the same except for the boots. The boots is, I wish that they all had these boots instead, because these are the boots that I went with. So yeah, these boots aren't too bad, but nice to differentiate. But I'm, for uniformity's sake, I like those kind of boots. But yeah, I love this set. This looks so good. Yeah, you can interchange the heads. Sometimes I feel like I want them black, and I change the head and put in the blackface version in here too. Or sometimes I feel like he should be white, but in this case, I'm putting the black head because I need more people of differences in my army. I was hoping to get two of these so I could have one white, one black, but these are harder to find. I'm hoping that when they reissue, I'll be able to get it. And of course, I'll definitely have more homies for Dusty of different races to hang out with. Hopefully they have one that's, got Filipino in it. But yeah, that was my main purpose. So now Dusty's not by himself when he goes out to do missions. He got these two other guys to possibly join him. They are doing a Desert Steel Brigade. So and I would love to get a Desert Rat character from Action Force, but I don't know when they're going to reissue him. But yeah, he's more modern. You'll notice that Dusty, older way of going about things, while this is more of the current, what's going on military wise. Either way, I think they're all very congruent, and they all kind of work together, especially since I'm going to be giving them they got weapons of the future kind of stuff going on. Plus, I'm going to give them current weapons from third party stuff, out there. And I'll when they come in, you guys will see. But yeah, look at them. I love it. These guys can be all congruent, hanging out with each other. It's just so cool to be able to have more to the party in the 6-inch military scale, game. It just, you could start doing your own stories, different, things going on. And I love it, G.I. Joe got these other guys coming in to assist until I got other army builders. And I know that next year, G.I. Joe's coming up with their own 60th anniversary army builder, which was a direct response, I believe, to Valaverse doing these things to try to cut into their market. But hey, if you ask me, I'm down to get both, just because I love supporting both. I definitely love GI Joe, and I definitely love what Valaverse is doing to push GI Joe to compete. Like I sometimes I wonder what would have happened if WWF, if Vince didn't buy WCW, would somebody else have made WCW better and continue to make wrestling better and better? But since he bought both after the Attitude Era, it just kind of what I'm saying? Dipping in and yeah, I just think competition brings out the best in people, and yeah, products are getting better across the board. I think so far. We don't know. Maybe the quality of the plastic might suck for Hasbro because their guns are kind of bendy-ish. But hey, I'm hoping that the third party will come up with better versions of stuff, and I don't mind getting third party accessories to, you know, fix the deficiencies that Hasbro has. But overall, I still love what Hasbro does, and I mean I really really do. As I love it. I want more of it, and yeah, I'm hoping that they can all play together. In the sessions that I have. I mean, like they all look congruent. So yeah, I'm it just when the vehicles come in and Valaverse has their own vehicles and GI Joe got their own vehicles, they all look like they could ride in the same thing and it would hang out and it would all make sense together. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I got so far for the Desert uh, Warfare Trooper and with the Desert Gear Pack from Valaverse Action Force. Um, I hope you guys gotten something out of it. I'm sure you guys probably seen other videos on this, but thank you for having watched this video. As you can see, I'm very excited about these things. My reviews are usually, or takes are usually much smaller in scale, but since I've just really, really been enjoying these, I can't help but extend my takes. Thank you guys so much for having been here for as long as you have to listen to me talk about my joy for this stuff. So yeah, until the next video, folks, I am your host Coco Smooth, and until the next video, folks, ciao.